Good morning. You are listening to and watching Unity of Springfield in Springfield, Missouri. This is our 9:15 Sunday adult class, World Religions, New Thought. And today you're going to be watching Teresa Amezcua breaking the habit of being yourself. So really looking forward to it. We haven't heard Teresa for, it's been about 3 months, I think. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I always love Teresa's talks. Today's Palm Sunday. It's March 28th. And I'm going to be reading the daily word for today. And it is Hosanna. Guided by the divine presence within, I follow the path to spiritual freedom. I imagine Jesus' experience riding a young donkey through the gates of Jerusalem, seeing the waving palm branches filling the people's love, hope, and even their fear as they shout, Hosanna! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. His followers looked to Jesus as the one who would free them from the bondage of Roman rule. Jesus, embracing his Christ nature, the spiritual identity he shares with all people, had accepted the greater mission of leading humankind to freedom from all bondage, all limitation, even freedom from death. Taking my inspiration from Jesus' example, I fearlessly embrace my Christ nature. Guided by the divine presence within, I follow the path to spiritual freedom. And from John 12:13, so they took branches of palm trees and went out to meet him, shouting Hosanna. So happy Palm Sunday today, and let's put Teresa on.
Hello friends, my name is Teresa. I'm so glad to be back with you. I haven't been talking to you for a long time. I haven't seen you forever. Well, my talk for today is the summary about this great book that I truly recommend. It's Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself with Joe Dispenza. I love Joe Dispenza. It talks about, a little bit of science and then have a lot of examples, and then it comes to, like a normal talking, and then it has a lot of meditations. I really recommend it. I mean, in 45 minutes, we cannot do any of that, but it's so amazing. I love it. And it talks about, thoughts that, if we change our thoughts, we can change our life, but it's more deeper. It says how many of us believe that the way that we thought has some effort in our lives, that your thoughts create your life. How many people, if we truly believe that, how many of us wake up this morning and consciously create our future? And well, not me. I'm practicing right now, but because we don't really believe it's true. If we truly believe it is, we won't miss any days, and we won't let our negative thoughts sleep by my awareness that we don't want to experience. And that's kind of true, like in the book say that if every morning we wake up with positive thoughts, or thinking about our day in a beautiful way, and all this stuff, is going to change our reality. But I mean, personally, I wasn't doing it before. I'm trying it right now, but it's awesome. And it talks about that my brain reflects everything I know in my life. Do you believe that your brain is a record of your environment, a record of your past? Do you believe your environment controls your thinking, or your thinking controls your environment? If you do the same activities every day, you think as your environment, did your brain change at all? Not really. Do you expecting something to change in your life if you are always thinking the same thoughts, performing the same activities, creating the same experience, and producing the same emotions? Thinking about that. Like every morning, I don't know you, but I always drive the same route, do the same activities in the morning, you know, like I wake up, I take a shower, I get breakfast, and well, that was my past routine. But I always get the same highway, the same route. But so are we doing something different to change? Are we helping our brain? Not me, not at all at that time, but so that's why we create more of the same by doing the same things over and over. So when I understand this, I start like trying to change a little bit. Like, for example, just that simple, getting a different route. Most of you know that I live in Sparta. Most of since I moved to Sparta, I always get 1465 and then come to Springfield for whatever job I have, but it's around here in town. And now I find another routes. I can go 125 to 60 and then go all the way until Sunshine, I believe. I think 125 go all the way to Sunshine. And then the other way is 125, then 60, then 65. Or 60, and then, because this book, it talks about that we have to help our brain to do different things. And that simple thing is really, really make a difference in my day. The true change is to think greater than your environment. And so, that I haven't read this sentence a lot, but now I kind of like get it, so if I believe my whole life that this is bad or this is good, and I always say the same thing and believe the same thing, so that's my environment, right? But what about if I start thinking a little bit different? Like, I practice a lot with not judge. Because before, whatever they teach me when I was young, it was like a law for me. This is like this, and this is white, and this is black. And no, not anymore. I try to, okay, this is the way that I was thinking before, but what if, it's something different? Or, so I just, try to little by little start like changing my way of thinking so I can become someone different. We need to have a vision. We don't see, and this vision, sometimes we don't smell it, we don't taste it, but we believe there is something that is alive and is in my mind. It has to be so alive that when we begin to live as is that actually happening right now, whatever the vision is. For me, this vision that I'm holding right now is to be better with myself, to change a lot of my behaviors and my beliefs about myself and about my environment. How can we believe in a future that we cannot see or experience with our sense yet? Well, that's a question that the book has, but I believe that it's with faith and passion. And let me tell you a little bit story about passion. I went to the Unity retreat, and we're doing this meditation, and I don't remember the name of the person, but the one that we were doing the meditation with. But it have to come some words, and then we're gonna write it down. And I don't know why, but the only word that came in my mind was passion. And you know, like, I don't know, passion for me, it was kind of like sexual, or I don't know, something totally different. And I didn't share because I was kind of like, why, you know, why is this word coming to me? But then after I went home, and then I rest, and it keeps in my mind, and then I find out that I lose a passion in a lot of things, and I kind of get it right now because I was kind of like really codependent instead of, you know, real love. So I lose the passion. I'm not sure when or where, but I lose it. I mean, I just, you know, I'm kind of like the person that, okay, let's do this, but if it doesn't work, fine. And if I want to sell something and you say, no, I don't want it, fine. You know, it's not like I didn't put, and I admire a lot, you know, people like, for example, John, my friend, he plays guitar, and I really admire the way that he loves, you know, to play music, and the way he plays his guitar, the way he plays his piano, and you know, and a lot of other people, you know, when I see Sue doing their talks, wow, that passion, and I didn't know why I admire a lot of this. And it's because I'm looking for it, but I cannot find it, you know, but right now I'm working on that. But, so that's something that we can, you know, experience to change. We can think about enough times in our mind that our brain is literally changed, like the events has already happened. Like, I try to visualize myself like, you know, this person that is going to express whatever it's best for her, for me, and you know, like, try to be positive and try to be, you know, like the best of me. I love this saying that say, whatever God put you, bloom. And that's something that I'm trying to you know, to live every day. And this book say that your personality creates your personal reality. It's that simple. Personality is how you think, how you act, and how you feel. You create the present personal reality called your life. To create a new personal reality, to make a change in your life, you need to change your thoughts. You are thinking the behaviors and the habits that you are demonstrating, and the emotions that you have memorized that has become part of your identity. Really powerful, right? Not easy. When we try to create a new personal reality as the same personality, it never works. We have become, it's not going to work. We have to become someone else. And you know what? When I was reading the book, I was a little bit confusing when I read, we have to become someone else. And if you notice, I'm kind of have a struggle when I was reading it. We have to become someone else. But, you know, like I was thinking, like, how in the world, you know, this is me, blah, 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 blah. No. But when I get a little bit far in the book, it said we have to become someone else. It doesn't mean another person. It has to be the best of me. Teresa, but the best of Teresa, you know, so it's like someone else, because if I have been living my life with these struggles and these behaviors and thinking that I'm not good enough and whatever the situation is, so to become someone else is the opposite. I need to believe that I'm good enough, and I believe in myself, and I believe that I can do whatever things I want to do. To change your mind is to make the brain work in a new sequencing, in a new pattern, in a new combinations. The ingredient that allows you to make your brain work differently is knowledge and information. Because every time you learn something new, you make a new connection in your brain. And in this book that I already showed to you, I would love to show out, a little bit of, a lot of, but it has a lot of pictures, a lot of image. Well, there's not a lot, but yeah. I promise there's a lot. If you buy it, it's really interesting because when Joe Dispenza talked about any subject, and then he put pictures, so you can visualize or figure out what is he talking about. And one thing that amazed me in this book is that he said that 99.999999% of ourselves is energy, and 0.00001 it's matter. So if we think about it, if I think about it, why I need to focus and matter? If everything else is energy, everything is energy. I'm energy, and the things that we see right here, they're energy. So why don't focus to change and live and understand energy instead of matter? Matter is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but why we have to focus more on that is almost it's just a little bit. It's the beautiful part of our life, world, everything, universe, but it's not that much. And instead, the energy, our thoughts, how can we figure it out, how can this can change, and how they help us is 99.99%. It's wonderful. Excuse me. Your brain is in constant communication with your body. You begin to think the way you feel and make more chemicals for you to feel the way you think. And this is the way you live in a circle of thinking and feeling. Over time, this is called a state of being. And it gives some examples, but it was really interesting because I was thinking, okay, if I let's see, I feel really sad because I think that I'm not good enough, that I'm not gonna make it, that whatever. So that make me feel so sad. And then when I'm really sad, I start thinking again that I'm not good enough, that I'm not gonna make it, and it's just a circle. And I have been living a lot of my years in this circle because it's just the way that I learn. I think, and then I feel, and then I feel, and then I think, and it's like, really? So it's really interesting. A state of being is when your mind and body are working together, or your thoughts or feelings are aligned to a concept. So thoughts are the language of the brain, and feelings are the language of the body. And it doesn't matter if, it's negative or positive. If we are aligned, it's going to be there. It's going to feel. It's whatever we are living, If I align my feelings and my thoughts, that's the best thing. But that's the worst thing too if I use it in the other way. So it's really interesting. A habit is when the body knows as well as the mind. When the body acts like the mind. And one of the examples that I noticed in me, that when my mind is acting like when my body is acting like my mind, is when I think that I'm hungry. And if I'm depressed or I'm nervous or most of the time I want to start, I want to eat, and I'm not really hungry, but that's something that, that I was doing before. So I noticed that my body has the power over my mind. So then, we can change that too, but I noticed in that part of me, the book said also that 90% of who you are by the time that you're 35 years old is a set of memorized behaviors, a set of emotional reaction, and a set of perception and beliefs, and attitudes that run like a computer program. And only 5% of my conscious mind begins to work against the 95% that you have memorized. And I was like, uh-oh. So that's why if 90% of me, it's my belief, my behaviors, my emotion, my reactions, and only 5% is my conscious mind that's trying to change. So it kind of makes sense, right? That this make my body and mind be in opposition. So then I understand why a lot of times I quit. Why? Because it's not easy. So it's easier to go back to my behaviors and reactions and whatever. But the good thing is that we can increase the 5%. And like I said before, probably it's not so easy, but if we continue trying, of course, we can do it. We can make it. We can, change. This is why sometimes you want to think positively, but you still feel negative. This is why sometimes you create a vision board, but you feel unworthy. And we think that it's not working. I remember that when I started doing the vision boards at first, I put all these, things, but if I still feel that I'm unworthy, what I'm telling the universe, okay, I want this, but I don't deserve it. So, it doesn't make sense, right? So I need to change my 5% and say, yeah, I want this and I deserve it. Of course I deserve it. I'm great. I'm awesome. I can do it. It says that you need to recondition the body to be in your mind. It's an example, but when we memorize, and it's kind of funny because you say it doesn't have to happen to you. It can happen to somebody else, but it's almost like me. But for example, if you ask someone if they want to see a positive movie, if they read a book that is really great, or just if they want to go for a dinner, or in these people or myself that I have done it before refuse it, where they or I are truly saying is, I insist in living in this neurological order that no person, no thing, and no experience can move. And you know what? I kind of like get it, because sometimes, I don't know if that happens to you right now, now that we're in Unity and we're learning, a little bit more. And when you see some people that is really really sad or depressed or whatever, and then you try to, look this, or let's go to, Unity, or let's go to the School of Metaphysics, or let's go to walk, or whatever, and this person is telling me no, and I don't want to, or whatever. And I remember that I was trying not to judge them, but I was thinking, well, if they don't want to be there, that's their business, but truly is what Joe Dispenza says, that because they have this neurochemical order, that they don't want to change. and probably it's not consciousness, but it's what they learn and or we learn, and we want to be there. And then I heard some of my friends saying that, oh, leave me alone, let me be like that. I have the right to be sad, and it's okay, but in my point of view right now, I think that I really appreciate when somebody hand me a book, or when somebody asks me if I want to walk or whatever, that helps me get out of that state now. But before, I was in the same situation. I want to suffer, day and night and cry and be the victim. But now I think that I got it a little bit. I'm so happy for that. Joe Dispenza talked about the three brains, and this can help us to change if we decide to. And this the brain is that, well, I'm not gonna pronounce it correctly, but is that neocortex, that this is the thinking brain, the limbic, that is the emotional brain, and the cerebellum is the seat of the conscious mind, is the thing that help us doing things that are memorized, like driving or typing, or put your password in the ATM, so we can do things without thinking and feeling. So it's really well, if you get the book and then you start reading it, it's awesome, our brain. But I want to share you something that probably, of course, I'm Hispanic. My first language is Spanish. But let me tell you what I found out when I was reading this book. That I read in English. Because I learned to read English. I learn English. But somehow my brain, so I can understand the concept, they change it to Spanish. And then when I try to share with you, I need to go back and with my own words put it in English. So probably, it's for, somebody else is not that much, but for me, it's excellent. I mean, it's great. I can't believe my brain can do that. You know what? And I know that when you learn a second language when you're little, I think that's kind of like automatic, because I don't think you have to translate it from one to another. If you understand English, it's English, and you understand Spanish, it's only Spanish. But I noticed, because when I'm reading and then my mom asks me a question, so I can, like that, turn around and tell her what I'm learning, because my understanding is in Spanish. And another thing that is really amazing for me is that in this work that I have right now, I have to talk to people in Spanish, but everything that they say to me, I have to make notes in English, because the people that are working in their cases, they do everything in English. And vice versa. If they talk to me about that person or whatever they want me to tell them, they talk to me in English, then I translate it to Spanish, then I talk to the people in Spanish. So it's wow, for me. I mean, I don't know, it's I didn't think about this before. I was like, I have this problem all the time that I'm not good enough, whatever. But now I think that is great. I mean, I have to give, like a hug to me and start loving myself. And I say, well, that's great. And I wish everybody can do it. And I think everybody can do it. But, but before I was like, oh no, I'm not going to say it correct. Probably they're not going to understand me. And now, you know what? I give you my love in my talk. I give you everything. And it's up to you. From here to there, that's all my love. And the way that everybody receive it, that's their part. But you know what? That's really great. It's awesome in my point of view. And so it say that using all the three parts of the brain together can allow us to move into a new state of being. Isn't that a great news? I kind of love it. part of the end, it talks about the quantum field. The quantum field responds to who you are being. That's really interesting. Not what you feeling or your thoughts are, but the combination of your thoughts and feelings. This is your state of being. And I'm sorry, it's because my page went all the way, I don't know where. Okay, sorry. Most of us wait for crisis, trauma, disease, or loss to really want to change. We wait until the ego is in such a low level that we cannot do business as usual. This is when we begin to look at how we are thinking and what we believe, at how we are acting, our attitude and emotions. And I believe that I already talked to you about this, but I was that person. I wait until, I was thinking like in an automatic mode, that I didn't realize how bad I was living. And then I started like having some loose things. Like I believe the first thing that I lost, it was a baby. I was pregnant for 5 months, and then my baby didn't make it, so it was really sad. It was so horrible for me. But after that baby was born and I was so sad and depressed, then I started searching for help. And when I always read this, and so it's like, I saw my friends and a lot of people after a divorce, after somebody passed away, after like myself, the baby wasn't born or things like that, then we start looking for we searching for help. And this book is really interesting because why wait? And then we can learn and change in a state of pain and suffering, of course. That's probably the majority of us, that's what we do, but which tends to be in a human model. Or we can learn and change in a state of joy and inspiration. And you know what? I'm kind of tired of learning that way. So I just no. And probably I'm gonna share with you something that is really sad, but I cannot express how different I'm feeling now. I don't know if you remember. It's one of my best friends, one of my mom's best friends too. And actually she was living with us for almost 2 years. And her name is Elia. I believe some of you know her. Well, she just, she passed away like 2 days ago. But I don't know how to explain this to you, but I'm sad, of course, but at the same time, it's like, I don't feel the pain, that suffering and things like that. I'm sad because she's not here with me right now, but I'm happy for her because she's, in her new path. And I think that's the way, because the last time that we talked, she said that she was ready. And whatever her situation was, right now, I truly believe that was the best for her. And of course, I'm going to miss her. She was a really beautiful part of my life, but I don't know how to explain this. Right here is kind of like connected, that it was the best for her. And if I want to talk to her, I can do it, because I'm pretty sure that she's not far away from me. And the way the night that they told me that, I just, of course I cry, but I write a letter of gratitude because that's what I feel for her. I feel so these grateful feelings, but it's totally different about when I lose somebody else. I hope that this is my reality now, that I can handle this in the future. But right now, in this moment, that's the way that I feel, and I'm happy for that. And it's so they say the hardest part of all this is making the time to do it. Is taking the time for my precious self. So instead of suffering, we can just change to try to learn enjoy. And when he talks about the time of the precious life, so it's like it has some questions, the book, and so what are you doing with yourself and things like that. And let me tell you something. I was a little bit overweight, and with the pandemic and all these things, and I was working at home, and all this stuff. I was kind of like out of shape. But what I'm going to tell you now is that after I read this book, I wake up now at 5 in the morning. I do my exercise. I do my meditation, and the way that Joe Dispenza is talking about the meditation in the morning is like, when we wake up, and at the time when we wake up or we open our eyes, but we're not really awaking, and in that time, it's say that we can make our wonderful day. We can think about how beautiful is going to be our day, how good is going to be this, my job or my project or my talk or whatever, so it's, and then that's kind of like the morning meditation. And then that's what I'm doing. So I wake up in the morning, I do my exercise, I do my meditation about making my a good day, and then I'm eating healthy. And let me tell you, I need to tell you this because I'm so proud of myself. I lose 18 pounds, so and I feel so good. And I don't know, well, I was really high in cholesterol before, and I went from 180 to 100. No, it was not 100. It was 200. Well, I don't remember. I don't know how. It was from, I think it was from 180 to 100. I'm not sure. Or 200 from, I don't know. But the total is that I'm really good. I'm in the normal thing, and I have to, get a little bit lower too, my cholesterol. But I'm not taking any medicine, so I was kind of really happy for that. And then in the night, every night, I try to read a book. I don't read a lot because I go to sleep kind of early. And then my meditation. And the night meditation, he explained that is the same thing. The time when we're trying to go to sleep, but you're not really asleep. So at that time is when we are giving thanks for everything, and things for everything, for all the things that happen in our beautiful life. So that's kind of a good thing that I'm doing, And then the book say that when we change, you have memorized something new that is greater than your conditioning. You are keeping our energy up. You are staying consciousness in your new reality, independent of your body, environment, and time. Is when your behaviors match your intention. When your actions are equal to your thoughts. When you are being someone else. That's all about this, to begin someone else. When your environment is no longer controlling how you think and feel, is when how you think and feel are controlling your environment. See the difference? So before, we are controlling our thoughts, are controlling us. And now our feelings and thoughts are controlling our environments. So we don't react, we don't, be upset of everything that we saw because we think that it's wrong or whatever. It's just what we feel and think is controlling the environment. Is when I truly believe that everything happens for a reason and there is a divine order. That is the greatest, and it will be always be within you. When how you appear is who you are. That's really important. Believe me, this is me, and this is going to be me here and there and everywhere. When how you appear is who you really are, you are no longer a slave of your past. The side effect of freedom is joy. Your mind and body are now working in harmony. You are now a new being. And thank you so much for your time, and namaste.
Oh, thank you so much, Teresa. It's absolutely wonderful to see your face back on screen again and to hear your words, and you just speak so eloquently, and I absolutely love that talk, and it's always good to see you. So let's go ahead and move on. There we go. If you'd like to make a donation towards our ministry, you can go to our website at unityofspringfield.org. You can give through our Tithely app, which I'm going to do in just a few minutes here, which you can download the Tithely app, and then it's just so convenient to make a donation. You can also go to PayPal at ccunity@sbcglobal.net, or you can do it the old-fashioned way. You can mail a check to 2214 East Seminole Street. That's Unity of Springfield in Springfield, Missouri, 65804. And thank you always so much for your continued support. Today's 11 o'clock Palm Sunday celebration service is discovering the power within you. And that's Sue Baggett Day. Next Sunday, our adult education is John Brocker, and he's speaking on part 1, mindfulness and self-compassion. So please come and join us in person today. You can register online at unityofspringfield.org, or you can even show up. We almost always have plenty of space, and you're welcome. Just make sure to follow along with the procedures that we have right now with wearing a mask and socially distancing, and we'll get back at some point to normalizing things like we always used to, but that may take a little while still. So have a great Palm Sunday. Have a great week. Enjoy this beautiful spring weather. I love you folks. Give yourself a big hug, and we'll see you at church a little bit later today, or we'll see you online next week. Namaste.